Good morning everybody, and welcome to Jim's 5 a.m. club. And this morning I come to you from just down the road from my place. And as you can see, it's been raining and the brooks are running and it's peaceful. There are birds chirping and the day is about to begin. Look how beautiful it is. Sometimes it's nice to have a bolt hole, somewhere where you can go to, away from home, and just be at peace. Be one with the environment, one with nature, and just to hear the trickling of water, the sound of birds, and the ticking of your brain. This is absolutely wonderful. And I'll organise to bring my wife Paula down here so we can just have a walk and talk session with Paula. Anyway, while I've got you here, I just want to take you through a book summary that I read just recently called Mind Hacking. And it's been written by a fellow by the name of John Hargrave. And it's an interesting take on how to reprogram your brain, your mind, to make changes in the way you think, the way you process things, and the way you see life. And it's a modern take on mind hacking and mind management. And it's done with programming, computer programming sort of terminology. So over the years, not only myself, but I've noticed in other people, we fall into some old patterns of thinking and we get into a loop where we start remembering the past and reliving the past, and we just can't get out of that loop. And this is where this book, Mind Hacking, takes a new look at how to manage that process. And basically what he talks about is breaking that loop using computer terminology. So we just need to interrupt those loops that we get caught up in. And in computer language, you get caught up in a loop, and it's called a bug, a software bug. And what we need to do in order to get out of that loop or that bug is to intervene, to change the way we do things, to interrupt that process, and to break out of that process as quickly as possible so we don't get caught in that negative loop. I remember when I was a kid sitting at the dinner table, with my father, my mother, my grandparents, my uncles, my aunts, and sometimes somebody would bring up a topic, say a word, regardless of what that word was, and all of a sudden everybody would go and get stuck in that loop, that negative old loop, and bring up old problems and just basically go over old territory over and over again. And the more they talked about it, the more emotional they got and the worse it got, until it ended up in a fight or a disagreement. And I would sit as a kid there puzzled, going, what the hell is going on here? Why do they always have to go back and dig up all that old ground again? It was so uncomfortable, so negative. And let me just cross over here. And so punishing for everybody. But what John Hargraves talks about in his book is that basically what we need to do is we need to interrupt those negative thoughts, interrupt the discussion, and basically just change the topic. Change it quickly and effectively so we don't get more emotionally attached to it as we're looping through it. You know what I'm talking about. And especially us married guys, you know that come wedding anniversaries or certain times of the year, you forget to do something, you forget to remember an anniversary, or your gift isn't quite up to scratch, and all of a sudden all this old ground will be gone over again and again and again, and we just can't forget those old things. But the key is, as John says in his book on mind hacking, is to just forget about it, get over it, and reprogram your mind so that you don't fall into that trap time and time again. How do we use this for young people? I remember my father, we'd be sitting down at the dinner table, and we'd be going over the old ground over and over again, talking about the mistakes that he's done in his life, talking about people who had let him down, talking about people who had disappointed him, talking about the old times and how he could have done better, and if he could live his life again, he would do things differently. But the bottom line is, it's all past. It's all past tense now. It's all gone. It's all finished. Just accept it. Forgive the people for what they've done, or what your interpretation of what they've done is, and just get on with it. Just move on. So once again, in terms of how do we use this for young people, is to not to dwell on the past, and especially not on the negative past. Dwell on the positive past, because that empowers you, that gives you strength, that gives you hope, and it enhances your purpose. So what we must try and do wherever we can is, once somebody starts talking about stuff which is past, and it's going to be negative and it's going to dig up old bad feelings, put a stop to it. Interrupt that process. Create a software fix to interrupt it and to change the topic so you can move on. I've often said to people, the past wasn't always that bad. There must have been some great times that we had with certain people. There must have been some great lessons, some wonderful things that we did that we don't focus on. Maybe it's time to refocus on some of those good things that we had happen in our past, so we can also recreate our past. Now, your past doesn't necessarily need to be as you once imagined it, or how you once remembered it. Sorry, I've got these plastics in my teeth, and it's a little bit awkward to talk, but you know what I'm talking about. What I'm suggesting is that we can refocus. We can relive our past and refocus on the better times, and remember the better times, so we don't have a miserable memory or have a miserable childhood. Because remember, there were good times then. We had lots of good times. Let's not just focus on that one or two bad times and spoil everything, not only for ourselves but for everybody else. Remember, if you're going over and remembering the old times and talking negatively all the time, you're not only spoiling it for yourself, but you're also spoiling it for your children, your friends, your family, or whoever you're with. Our job as adults is to be forgiving, is to try and smooth the way so that it's more comfortable and better for our children, for our friends and family. A friend of mine always used to say to people, when you come into the office, leave your ego t-shirt at the door. Leave your ego t-shirt at the door. Don't bring in your bad memories, don't bring in your ego, and don't bring in your negative energy. Leave it at the door. Especially when it comes to functions, Christmas parties and all that sort of thing. When the family gets together, forget about the old crap that could have gone on. The stuff that limits us, the stuff that brings us all down. Be the source of joy, be the source of positive energy, be the fun. Help people remember the past, recreate the past with great memories, and not to focus on all the stuff that may have been negative or a weight. Anyway, I get depressed when I talk about this sort of stuff sometimes, because as we get older we learn and we become better at it. But let's finish off with a positive affirmation. I'm alive, I am well, and I feel great. To all my friends and family, stay connected, stay positive. Be the positive link, be the strong link that binds people together rather than separates them apart. I've got some people crossing over, so I'll finish it off here. So, and once again, take some time to remember that that times are good, and as indicated in that book, Mind Hacking by John Hargraves, break the cycle and bring back good memories so that your contribution to your family, to your friends, and to everybody around you remains positive. And like this family here, have good memories. Enjoy the times that you have together, because life has a lot of wonderful memories. Anyway, take care, and until tomorrow at 5 a.m, I'll join you on Jim's 5 a.m. club. Stay well, and we'll chat again. Yassas, take care, and I look forward to chatting again. Bye for now. Ciao.